Welcome back from the break. You're watching NewsX and I'm Asavri Jindal. We start with the top story of the hour. The onset of the monsoon session of Parliament on July 20th comes at a time when the BJP in the Lok Sabha appears to have established itself as the predominant political force in the House, even as the larger picture in Parliament remains contingent on the ruling coalition and its allies. The monsoon session of the Parliament will run till August 13th and is expected to hold political importance not only due to the sheer numbers of the bills that are to be tabled, which will be brought up for consideration, but also due to the type of the bill itself. The constitutional amendment proposed relating to the issue of delimitation and the increase in the number of members in the Lok Sabha, which would have some bearing on the issue of women's reservation in one of the matters under the political spotlight at the moment. Add to that the sheer number of realignments being witnessed, including rebellions within the TMC and Shiv Sena UBT, as well as the shocking merger of the 6 AAP Rajya Sabha MPs with the BJP. As all eyes remain trained on Parliament and its shifting numbers, let's take a look at the latest numbers and the number game in both the houses at the moment. Let's quickly put out what I have over here on my screen, and that's the number game that we are referring to. We will start with the Lok Sabha, where of course the total number is 318. But what exactly is the division and who exactly is going to be in the NDA? Let's put out that first. Of course, as far as the BJP is concerned, 240 is the number, NCPI 20, TDP 16, Shiv Sena Shinde faction 16, JDU 16, LJP 16, the JDS 240 and others at 20 as we speak. But let's talk about the opposition, where the total tally as we see is 184. The division, of course, right in front of you. The Indian National Congress, of course, at 98. The Samajwadi Party, of course, giving support at 37. DMK 22, Shiv Sena UBT 3. TMC, as of course we were talking, there has been a lot of rift in the past couple of months, but the number that we're looking at the moment is 8. NCP SP 8, CPIM 4, RJD 4, IUML 3, Aam Aadmi Party 3, and others as it stands is 32. That's the number game that we're looking at as far as the opposition in Lok Sabha is concerned. But let's quickly tilt our focus to the Rajya Sabha, and this is what the number game looks like. Okay. As far as the NDA is concerned, the total number at the moment is 150. BJP right now has 113. JDU at 5, NCP at 4, AIEDMK at 4, TDP at 4, Shiv Sena at 3 and others at 17. Now quickly taking a look at the opposition in Rajya Sabha, where the total counts currently stands at 67, with the Congress holding 28 seats, the DMK at 10, TMC at the moment at 9, RJD 5, Samajwadi Party 4, CPIM 3 and others at 8. So that's the number game that we are going to be witnessing as we see ahead of the Parliament session that is expected to take place. Many big bills, many big battles are expected to take place, including, of course, the delimitation, as we were telling you. What bearing is it going to have on the women's reservation bill is, of course, a big question and something that is being highlighted. It's there in the focus. We will be roping in our guests to take this conversation forward. But before that, we have, of course, these numbers that are giving us the larger picture, that are going to help us understand and make the predictions at the moment. TK Rajalakshmi, senior journalist, joins us on the broadcast to share the perspectives. Appreciate you joining us and your perspectives. We've put out the number game, but like I said earlier, many important bills to be tabled in the monsoon parliament session. What are your predictions?
Yeah. Thank you, Asavri, for having me on your show. See, I don't think that it's only only an issue, of numbers. Of course, as far as the numbers go, we know that the BJP and the NDA are at an advantage, because given the fact that now we have figures. In fact, MPs from the TMC adding up to the numbers. We have MPs from the UBT, Shiv Sena UBT, etc. And so obviously they are going to be at an obvious advantage. But the issue, I think, more is in fact the the importance, of the bills and, the various issues that are going to come up, in the course of this session. Because first of all, as you yourself mentioned, the delimitation bill is there, and of course it has serious consequences for issues of federalism, as well as democratic representation. Now, if we just sort of confine it to sort of, if everybody accepts the fact that, a mere constitutional amendment or an executive, or the executive is, empowered to sort of making changes in the delimitation framework as it exists right now, then it's not an issue at all, to be discussed. But clearly there are implications for federalism, for instance, which the opposition parties and others and other experts have been, talking about legitimately. Then, of course, there's this issue of paper leaks. It's not going to go away on its own. I mean, I do not think that the issue is going to die down, even if the protests may have got a slight, setback. I think it's going to be raised in Parliament. I don't think the opposition parties are going to let go of that. And again, it's a legitimate issue there. Then this whole issue about ethanol, apparently, this blended ethanol, is also going to, I think, come up in some way, because there's an uproar, of course, I think in different sections of society, including the upper classes and of course the middle class too. Then, so as I said, and then the issue of the theft, of donations at the Ram Temple. So I think this session is going to be quite contentious, and I don't know as to what is the government's strategy of sort of handling it, because there's been general silence on in fact, the majority of issues. And I think the women's reservation issue should be delinked, from delimitation. It's a pretty much valid proposition, because there's no disagreement from any party today, on the issue that 33% reservation for women has to be passed, at the earliest, and it should be passed in its present form. It can't. You can't. Sort of delay it, and sort of link it, with the issue that we're going to increase the number of seats, and therefore, the delimitation bill, is important, and sought to be sort of connected with this. It's high time that the women's reservation bill should be passed. It's a demand that came, from below. In fact, Asabri, you would also know, that that's an organic demand. It came, from women who were, heading in panchayat, and they said that agar hum yahan tak pahunch sakte hain, so why can't we reach the doors, Parliament? Okay, so then this the whole committee was set up, Geeta Mukherjee's committee was set up, and it all began in the 90s. It's a high time now. So I think that the government, it has its numbers now. It has the numbers now. Okay, so and also with the added numbers from the parties who have split ranks and have sort of joined it. So I think it should show its sincerity. The onus, of the government, to show how sincere it is in passing the women's reservation bill, and to sort of delink it from the issue of delimitation. There is no link, absolutely. If you ask me. Yeah.
All right. I also want to understand from you, do you think the NDA will have the numbers that it needs?
Well, as far as the numbers that you've just mentioned on your show, I think it would have. It's not going to sort of encounter any kind of a roadblock. But again, the issue the issue is that you have a moral one. If parties sort of break off, and they're assimilated into the NDA. Of course, through right, processes, whatever, does it become, ethical, after all, is this a way to go about it? Again, the issue should in fact go back, to the issues, themselves, if in fact, without a debate or without really looking at, the ramifications of all the issues that we've discussed now, is it just okay to just because we have, the numbers, we sort of ramrod through all these, all these contentious issues, including the delimitation bill for that matter, isn't it? So I think it is more, of a moral question. Ultimately, it's quite possible that the opposition, might lose out, in the process, and But then, the consequences for the country are there, right? So I think those are, larger questions that the government ought to think about, and not be in this, kind of tearing, bulldozing hurry to sort of bulldoze through bills, at any cost. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on NewsX, sharing your perspectives with us. We leave it there and shift our focus to some breaking news that we're tracking. The all-party meeting being held under Defence Minister